Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Stephen Howson, and this is the review of Manchester United's win over Sunderland. And I'll be honest with you, it's a bit of a different one because I was chatting to Steve a minute ago, and I wasn't at the game because I had to go and watch my mate do his white collar fight. Well done to Jay Jr., by the way. I watched it on a stream, which was terrible, and I've watched matches a day, so I'm a bit in the dark to really what went down at that game. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen like the highlights at the B, what I show you, and a few bits on a perfectly legitimate stream, by the way. Steve, you were at the game. First of all, what was the atmosphere like, man? I always want to know what the atmosphere was like at the game. Was everyone up for it pre-kickoff? I know once the goals start flying in, it gives everyone a bump, but what did you think of the atmosphere?
I thought it was a bit flat, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit on the flat side, which you can understand. It's been a minute since I've walked into Old Trafford and fought and felt that, yeah, we was having it there. I mean, some games warm up to it, don't they? What happens on the pitch can usually dictate how it goes. It was a pleasant atmosphere. Certainly wasn't intimidating in any stretch. I think the last time I was like kind of a bit blown away at Old Trafford might have been the Lyon game, maybe.
I agree. I was going to say that's the last time I can remember where it was like absolutely pumping. And the thing is, like, Old Trafford gets a lot of stick with this atmosphere, and I get, look, I understand it to a certain degree, but there have been some games over the last few years when we've turned up. Do you know what I mean? As a crowd, and you know, Sunderland for a mid-table class probably isn't that one. The big talking point before the game, I think we'd all spoken about it, was whether he was going to start the new goalkeeper. He obviously did. I've seen him getting a lot of praise on social media. I've seen a few clips. Again, it doesn't tell you the full story. What did you make of his performance? Not just the saves that he made, but his distribution, his command in his area and stuff like that.
So when I did my review, sometimes people pick up on like maybe one phrase that you said, and I said he looked a bit shaky the first couple of passes that he had, and I meant the first couple of passes that he had.
So you meant the words that you said?
Yeah, I know that's novel, innit? And I didn't say what I didn't mean. So people have gone, I didn't think he was shaky all game at all. Yeah, I didn't actually. Hence why I didn't say that. But yeah, I thought, but I also wasn't criticizing him because I was kind of like, making your fucking debut at Old Trafford, you're allowed to be. You know, it's almost like just give me those couple of passes. Okay, now I've had a touch, and then we can start playing. Yeah. And that's all I thought it was. I didn't know he could play off both feet, long and short. That was a bonus.
Love that.
He sent a lot long.
Yeah, I saw Laurie did a tweet like 33 long passes or something, whatever it was. It's like
we didn't seem very keen on playing out, and because I coach, I'm always very keen to watch the patterns people make when playing out, because I try and play out all the time. So I'm always very interested in seeing what works, what doesn't, and we didn't really play out at all actually. So that's still an area we have to fix. But when you've got Sesko that wins the number of headers that he wins, it is an option. Yes, he made good saves, not like easy saves either. He made like good saves at good times, but like the cherry on the top was the coming out and claiming crosses. And I'm gonna have to watch one back because I don't know where he claimed it, but I want to say it might have been outside the 6-yard box as people have come in. Proper keeping, mate. Proper keeping, and that's all we wanted.
That for a while, yeah.
And he was out of his box. He was keen to get out there. Looks like he'll smash you if you get anywhere near his box. That's what we want.
We do. That's what we've been crying out for. You mentioned Benjamin Sesko as well. I know you've spoken about him quite a lot recently. Some of the sort of comparisons with him and Hoyland have been unfair. I think you've called them out. What did you make of his performance? Because obviously he's got another goal. Again, I saw the highlights of what I could see on the stream, and it looked like he had a good game to me. What did you make of it?
Yeah, he presses. He takes up nice shapes. He blocks off passing lanes in behind him. He don't make it easier for him to play against. He mixes it up. He comes short. He plays off one. He looks to run into the channel. He looks to hold it. He looks to get on the end of stuff. We do have to put more crosses in to take advantage of how good he is in the air, and you'll start seeing, you know, like a Eastern European Duncan Ferguson sort of story arc emerge, I think. But I think the way the variety of shots that he gets, and it was pure instinct, the one that he scored. You know, he's just jumped onto something and managed to stick it in the back of the net, and that's what you want from your strikers. I don't need my strikers to have 100 passes. I don't need my strikers to be able to dribble past everybody. I need them to pull the trigger when he can see a bit of net and put it away. And he's done that in back-to-back games. So happy with him. And obviously, you do get measured on your goals, but I think your all-around play is equally as important and what you offer with the team. And I thought Mount, Sesko, and Mbeumo, and Ahmad, to a greater or lesser extent, there was times in the first half, second half, genuinely, I was with Jaden at the game and I said to him, have they been on edibles at half time? Because the way they've come out in the second half, there's no other explanation. It was like, it was just broken. Like our play in the second half was just broken compared to what it was in the first. In the first half, it was slick, and we was on for a third, fourth. Like there was possible Slapovic's was on the cards, and some of the touch play, the way Ahmad and Mbeumo was getting around each other, the way we were playing on one, some of the stuff that was being played into Mbeumo, you couldn't fuck with him. He did fade in the second half, but we looked so clunky in the second half. But it was nice, yeah. There was some nice, real nice stuff across that front line and link play across that front line, which was really, really good to see. And it would have yielded more if we'd have actually done it in the second half and not just got off our tits in the dressing room at halftime.
Listen, it's not very often we go 2 goals up. I'm not going to criticise them. They let alone, yam me a load of edibles at halftime. Just leave them alone. I want to ask you about Mason Mount because I think we all, well, I didn't really speak for myself, assume that the front three is going to be Cunha and Mbeumo and Sesko, and that's going to be it for the season. 1 game a week. You'll probably see them play 30-odd games a week starting, and anyone else is just, is going to struggle again. But Mount started well this season and obviously got his goal yesterday as well. Do you think that he's going to keep his place? Do you think that is going to be the front three for the time being and Cunha's going to have to sort of fight his way back into the team? How do you think it could pan out?
I'm not sure. And I was also going to think about Joshua Zirkzee. At what point does he get a look in this? Because I thought Bruno was clunky still yesterday. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't perfect from him either. He wasn't slick. And when Mbeumo went off, he moved Bruno in. Rather than subbing Bruno, who's going to play for Portugal, why not just sub him? You know what I mean? I thought if we'd have got the third, you might have actually seen that. And I wouldn't mind seeing the likes of Heaven and that coming on too, but
yeah, he did it. He was at Chelsea, did it, but only for like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something. Which
he don't get subbed, does he? But he's going to play for Portugal, where you've got players there that aren't going on international duty that could have come in, could have got some minutes, could have got a bit of a look in, could have shown you what they can do a little bit maybe as well. It's not always about giving an opportunity; it's about seeing what someone can do. Because it's all right playing in training, but actually, players surprise you in matches. You throw him in and you go, oh, he's 2 levels better than I thought he was. He's closer to a start than I thought he was. And I can trust him next week now if I need to. And then that's how careers get built. I don't know where Joshua Zirkzee is going to fit in, because obviously there was an opportunity yesterday. I thought he was crying out for Hook Bruno. Not because he was playing bad, but because the opportunity was there to freshen it up and do something different. But he moves Bruno into Mbeumo's position, brings on Kobe alongside Casemiro initially, and then Ugarte comes on after Casemiro tries to get himself sent off. And you just think there was a chance there to change that, but we haven't for whatever reason. So Mount in that position, you've got Mount who can play there. So we all presume, right or wrong, Cunha and Mbeumo and Sesko is our forward three, but then you've got Bruno, you've got Mount, you've got Zirkzee that can all play in those positions as well. So I really don't know how that's going to shake up, because what I thought Mason Mount did yesterday was quality. It was just, it was intelligent. It was good decisions. I thought the goal was the least impressive thing that he did, apart from the timing of the goal, which obviously you can't really pick the timing of your goals, can you? But the timing of that goal really give us an edge. When you're playing against a team that's going to try and be tight, compact, and play on the counter, if you can get an early goal, you just change the narrative of the game and you change what they have to do. And we forced them into taking a winger off and putting a fullback on, at 2-0. And maybe that worked for them because we didn't score again after that, even though we had a load of control. But we forced them into that. We changed their game plan. They decided that 2-0 was enough, and they weren't even going to try and maybe nick one, but they didn't twist. Do you know what I mean? They stuck. And if they hadn't, at the time, United were flying. Like I said, in Mbumo and Ahmad, especially in that first half, were really sticking it on them.
It's a shame, innit? Because I'm not going to moan about a win. We don't have enough of them to start being fussy about how they come about or the nature of them. And a 2-0 comfortable win is a comfortable win. But it would have been nice to give someone a bit of an hammering. Just give them a bit of a 3 or 4 or even a 5-0 and go, look, this is what can happen with this team if we all turn up. Because obviously we're capable of it. Just before I let you go, going into Liverpool, got this international break in this Liverpool game. How much sort of, I don't know, confidence, relief, time, whatever you want to call it, do you think this gives Ruben Amorim just getting that win that sort of he needed going into a big game at Anfield? Does it give him anything?
I don't think it changes anything. I think it was lose-lose yesterday. I think you get no credit for beating a newly promoted side, regardless of how difficult they've been and how good they've been this year and how hard they've been to break down for teams. You don't get credit for that. And you can say you shouldn't, and that's your opinion, but the truth is you don't get credit for it. And if you lose to them, you get destroyed. It's an awful situation to find yourself in. I hope that team now and Ruben now sees Liverpool as an opportunity. I know they'll work hard and do what they can. But while Liverpool have been get-attable, while Liverpool are in a little bit of disarray, they are not confident. They've lost 3 on the bounce. How satisfying would it be for our first back-to-back Premier League wins to come at Anfield? They don't lose often there. And I probably would take a draw there. As much as I would love to get our back-to-back wins there, I think taking a draw at Anfield or winning at Anfield would be very, very satisfying. And I hope he gets his thinking cap on. I hope he gets the assurances he needs so he can go into that and be as confident as he needs to be to do whatever he needs to do to get that one over the line. Because if you get that over the line, I think that's very, very impactful for whatever comes next. And I think then you could start to build. It's not a corner turned yet, but I think if you can beat Liverpool, and I don't care, and it will get discredited because it's United, right? If we beat Liverpool and it's their 4th win on a bounce, people will diminish it and go, well, it's only because Liverpool are shit that you beat them. Guess what? I don't care.
No.
So
listen, I don't, and I think that could be a result that does something for him. It could. I know it's massive, if you beat Liverpool, but you've been saying it for a little while now. A few of us have said it when we watched Liverpool. Yes, they've been getting results up until recently, but they're not unbeatable. This isn't a barnstorming team that's just wiping everyone away. And they've sort of come unstuck in the last few games when teams have actually figured out, hang on a minute, they are beatable. They're not as sort of infallible as some of the media like to make out they are. So we'll see. We've got another international break, obviously, because we have one a month before then. So we'll just have to wait and see what goes down. But it's nice to have that win. Steve, always a pleasure. Go and check out Steve's other channels there. Go and check out the Stephen Howson podcast as well. If you're not checking out all good stuff. That's been Stephen Howson. I'm Jay Martin. This has been a review. Manchester United beating Sunderland 2-0.